2021 has started with two championships that have been named so far. Two champions have been crowned, college football and the National Football League. And in both cases, the champions were the GOATs, and those GOATs continue to distance themselves from everybody else. Nick Saban was already the greatest college football coach ever. He just distanced himself. Tom Brady was already the greatest quarterback and greatest football player ever. He distanced himself. You don't need me to tell you that. That's obvious. Here's the part of it that I think is interesting. I don't think it's a coincidence. I do not believe it is a coincidence that during this unprecedented time, during a pandemic in which everything was just upside down, they love to use the word distraction in football. Anything can be a distraction in football. You know, the running back gets a ticket for running a red light. This is a distraction to the football team. All of a sudden, we have a global pandemic. And so I do believe that there is something to be said for the greatness and the leadership of those two being even more valuable than they normally would be under these circumstances. I guess what I'm saying is some things can be a coincidence, but I'm not a big believer in coincidences. I'm a big believer that things happen determinately. Very few things happen in life by accident. You might find $5 on the street by accident, but that's not a good way to plan your finances. So for the most part, important things happen purposefully. They happen for reasons. And so in my opinion, it is not a coincidence that Alabama was head and shoulders the best team in college football this year because they have a leader who was unlike any other and was able to navigate that situation for himself, for his players, and for everyone else involved better than anybody else was. And I do not think is it a coincidence that Tom Brady, even though he comes to a team where they should all have been wearing name tags like they were, you know, they're serving you at an Arby's, like a welcome, I'm Tom. But at the same time, he knew how to do this. And the leadership and the greatness rose to the top. So I do not believe is it a coincidence. And I would point out, for whatever this is worth, when they went to the bubble in the NBA, LeBron won the championship. So I don't think these things are coincidental. I think these things all happen for a reason. And while that does not tell us anything about what the future holds, because I'd like to think the future is going to get a lot better relative to that. I don't know that by the time we get to September, for example, the world is going to feel exactly normal again. I don't know that everything in September of 2021 is going to be exactly like it was in September of 19, but I'd like to think it's going to be a lot closer to that than it was in September of 20. So I think the value of that leadership, while always extraordinarily important, I think that this past year it was more so than ever before. So I don't think it's a coincidence that if you look at three of our major sports, LeBron James won the championship, Nick Saban won the championship, Tom Brady won the championship.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.